Hello again friends and loyal Wolfpack members, Chaos Wolf here and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today we're going to be taking a look at this little ship here, the Adder. Now this is going to be one of, if not the first ship you buy outright yourself after your starter Sidewinder. So when you start out with your Sidewinder, you're either going to go for the Eagle, the Hauler or the Adder. Now the Adder is the most expensive out of all of them. But there's a reason for that. It's kind of a jack of all trades ships, master of none. So we're going to go and have a look at what it can do. Now first of all, we're going to go and have a look around the cockpit. Now as you can see, it's not exactly that spacious, but it's bigger than the Eagle, the Hauler and the Sidewinder. So it's the first large-ish, I should say, cockpit you're going to get. Plus it's the first one that you're going to get that's going to have 2 seats. So yes, that means that this is the first basically asymmetrical ship you're going to have, because as you can see, you're off to one side. We are sitting on the right hand side here. So if asymmetrical cockpits are something that really bugs you, then you're going to have to go and potentially give this ship a pass. But it's not that bad. I don't notice it that much when flying around in this ship. Going into the outfitting department, we can see that the ship actually has 3 hardpoints, which is the same amount of hardpoints as the Eagle, but this is actually slightly better, because we do actually have 1 Class 2 hardpoint, so 1 medium hardpoint, whereas the Eagle just has 3 Class 1 hardpoints. So this ship is actually more heavily armed than the Eagle, although the main issue is it's nowhere near as manoeuvrable. So that's where the compromise lies. But it does allow you to carry a good amount of firepower if needed. What I am going to go and do though is I am actually going to go and sell these for the time being, because we basically want to try and get this ship up to its maximum jump range when we're going and having a look at stuff. Next we've got the utility mounts. Having a look in here you can see that we've actually got 2 utility mounts, which is twice the amount that both the Eagle and the Hauler have, because both of those ships only have 1 utility mount. So again, this ship is just a step up from both of those ships. Onto the core internals, you can see that you've got a standard Class 1 alloys. There's no point even looking at these all that much, but let's go and have a look here. We've got a Class 3 power plant, so we've also got a Class 3 set of thrusters, Class 3 frameshift drive, Class 1 life support, Class 2 power distributor, and a Class 3 sensors. So this ship is admittedly going to be more expensive to go and upgrade than both the Eagle and the Hauler. As we've said before, it basically does certain jobs better than both of those ships, but the Eagle at least actually specialises more in combat. I do think this ship is actually a complete and utter upgrade over the Hauler in every way but one, and that is the jump range. Because despite having a Class 3 frameshift drive, this ship is actually larger. So I do think that the Hauler actually goes and beats this ship out ever so slightly just in the jump range department. Having a look at the optional internals though, you can see that we've got 2 Class 3s, 2 Class 2s and a Class 1. Ignore this one, that's just a planetary approach suite and we can't actually put anything else in there. So this gives us a good ability to go and carry either cargo or passengers. So what we're going to go and do is we're going to go and empty all these out, fill them up with cargo racks and see just how much cargo that this thing can actually go and carry. But before we do that, we're just going to have a look down here. As you can see that we have the current jump range of 9.61 light years. So that's basically our current jump range when we don't have any cargo in. And this is when we're not upgraded. So we haven't upgraded anything in the core internals. So we're going to go and see just what happens to this once we go and set up for a cargo runner. And here we are. As you can see, every single bay here is filled with a cargo rack up to its capacity. And what that gives us is a maximum cargo capacity of 26 tons. So what we can actually go and do is carry more cargo than the Hauler. Bearing in mind though, this is without shields, although we can actually go and put shields on as well, but it's going to reduce our cargo capacity by a little bit. Now the smallest shield generator that we can actually go and fit is a Class 1. As you can see here, we've got a Class 1 bi-weave shield generator. Now, according to Coriolis, the website that I use to go and test some builds on beforehand, it does say that there is a 1A shield generator somewhere in the game, but I've yet to find it. So we're just going to go and use this one. Now what this does is it does give us a 37.9 megawatt shield. Now this is not a lot of shielding. This is not going to be standing up against pirates' weapon fire or smashing into other ships at full speed. This is really there just to go and protect your hull from mine scrapes and landing. So it's really up to you whether or not you want to go and take this or not. What you could do as well is, instead of a shield generator, if you're going long range, you could always go and put in a fuel scoop. Now that is going to mean that you've got no shields, but it's also going to mean that you're lighter because fuel scoops don't actually have any weight. So that's going to be increasing your jump range as well. So let's go back and leave that as is. Because as we've got this set up at the moment, we've got over 10 light years worth of jump range. So 10.42 light years worth of jump range with the standard core internals. So let's go and swap out the core internals with our cargo running setup and just see just how far we can get this thing to jump as well. There we go. We've gone and got this set up for maximum jump range. We've gone and got a class 2A power plant because this gives us enough power to be able to do what we want. I mean, we could theoretically try and drop this down, but we'd have to go, let's have a look, to a 2B to still give us some power. 2C, actually we still have the power when we do a lot of these. So theoretically we could go for a 2D and still have enough power. There we go. So we've still got enough power. And as you can see, we've got a jump range now of 27.89 light years. Now this is completely unladen, so we've got no cargo. So that's quite nice. That's not far off 30 light years. We've also gone and got a laden jump range. So this is when we're full of cargo of 19.45 light years. So that's not bad again at all. And as we can see here as well, we've got a maximum top speed, so a cruising speed of 231 meters per second and a boost speed of 335 meters per second. So that's really not bad. We're not really going to be that slow. But if we come across any type of combat or pirate ships, they're going to easily be able to outrun us. There is something we can do about this, but we're going to go and have a look at that in a little minute. First of all, we're going to go and have a look at just what we can do to this ship instead of using it as a cargo runner. So what we're going to go and do is we're going to go back into the optional internals and set this ship up as a passenger taxi. There we go. We've now going to swap this ship over to basically a taxi ship. We've got two class 3 economy cabins and a class 2 economy cabin. So in the class 3s we get 4 capacity each, so 4 people can fit in this. 4 in that one and 2 in this one, so that's 10 passengers that we can take on in this ship. So we're not going to be taking on very many bulk missions, but this will allow us to go and take on some of the smaller missions and some of the VIP missions as well. So if you're lucky, you may be able to find a mission for about 10 or less people to go perhaps a long distance. And with a 22 light year jump range, that's not going to be terrible. Because the main issue is that the passenger cabins actually do way more than the cargo racks. Now, why is this? Well, this is because that passenger cabins require a lot more things, like seats and so on. They're not just framing. So they do way more. As you can see, the Class 2 is 2.5 tons. This one is 5 tons. And cargo racks, as this Class 2 one here, is only... doesn't even say anything here as in weight. It does have a little bit of weight, it just doesn't show up here. Because if I were to sell this, you can see that my jump range would actually go up. So that's a bit weird. But either way, the reason we still have this cargo rack is that a lot of the missions, especially the VIP missions, will offer cargo as mission rewards. And if you don't have the cargo capacity to actually take the mission rewards, you can't actually go and hand the mission in. So that's why we've kept this 4-ton cargo rack in here. Because all of the missions that I've seen, 4 tons is the most that I've noticed. There may be more, but I haven't seen them myself. Now, if you are actually finding missions that don't have any cargo as a reward, you can swap this out for another cabin and get another 2 capacity in there. But not only can you go for just economy cabins, we can actually go for a different class of cabin. We can go for the business class cabins. Now, the main issue with the business class cabins is that they're only going to be able to take 3 people each. And the smallest cabin that you can have with businesses is class 3. So this is the smallest you're going to get. But what it does is it allows you to have a better class of passenger. But for now, I think we're just going to stick with the economy class cabins. Now, as I said, there is something we can do to make this ship a little faster, because as you can see, our speed has changed a little. Our top speed is 227 and our top boost speed is 330. So that's changed a little. I can't quite remember if that's gone up or gone down. I just know that that was not the same. But what we can do is we can go and fiddle around with this ship a little bit to make it a lot faster. So that's what we're going to go and do now. Now, as I said, these shields are not going to protect from a lot. So what I'm going to try and do is just clip my way on the way out. Yeah, as you can see there, it didn't really hold up much at all. We lost a ring of shields fairly quickly. And I was not going full speed, and I literally just clipped the inside of the mail slot. But the shields do go and recharge fairly quickly, although bear in mind, because they are bi-weaved, you're going to have to put more pips into systems to keep them up. But anyway, let's go. That's right, we're here at Farseer Incorporated, the home of Felicity Farseer, one of the engineers. Now, the reason we're here is that she actually sells one of the modules that we need in order to make this ship a little faster. And if that wasn't completely obvious, it's actually we're going to buy some specialized thrusters. So let's get ourselves put down on the pad, and this is where I'm really glad that I actually have those shields, because that was a little bit faster than I intended to get set down. So let's get ourselves into the hangar. So what we need to do is we need to go into the outfitting department here and into the core internals, and what we can then go and do is we can go and swap out these 3D thrusters for some 3A enhanced performance thrusters. Now what this is going to do is upgrade our cruise speed to 347 meters per second, so that's faster than our boost speed that we had previously. And our top boost speed is going to be over 500 meters per second. So that's going to make it very hard for any type of unmodified ship to go and chase us down. So if you're playing in private groups and solo, you're virtually never going to get stuck by other ships. So if you get interdicted, just throttle down and then just boost away whilst dropping chaff. So we're going to go and buy this one. There we go. As you can see, we've got a lot faster. But that's not all we can do. What we can do as well is if we go out of here, we can go into the engineer's workshop and we can go and have a look at some of the upgrades here. Because if we go into here, we can actually go and get a grade 1 dirty drive tuning. Admittedly, this will actually go and cost you 1 specialized legacy firmware. We could go down into the clean drive tuning, but again, that's going to be the same. You could go to a class 2, which is going to be again a specialized legacy firmware, but a mechanical equipment as well and a modular terminal. Now this is going to be a bit difficult to find, but if you do happen to have a specialized legacy firmware, we can just go and basically check out what happens here. Now what we really want to have is this one to max out and see if we can go and get a really nice roll on the optimal mass. So that's not too bad, but let's go and see what we have on the second. Here we go there. The mass has been reduced, so what that means is we're going to be able to jump further. So we've had a reduction of 1% on the optimal mass, and an increase of 7% on the optimal multiplier. So if we go and have a look over, we can see that our jump range is 22.1 light years. The 23.77, that's when we're extremely low on fuel, able to just make one full jump. So basically as light as we can possibly be and still make a full jump. So let's go and apply that. Again, I'm going to take a quick look back again, because that was 22.01. We'll apply that, and that makes it so we can go 22.11. So we've gained 0.1 of a light year's worth of jump range. Now that's not a lot, but it's not bad. So on this, as we can see, we've not got a massive amount of things changed here. The optimal mass went down by 1%. We could have got a maximum increase more of 2% on this. But if we go out and we go and have a look into the outfitting department, we can go and see that our top speed has now been increased to 373 meters per second top speed cruising, and we've had nearly a 40 meter per second, so a 38 meters per second increase in our top boost speed. So that is insane. Not only that, but our ship is slightly lighter. Now we can go and roll on a few other things as well. If we come back out and go back into the thing here, we can go down to power plants. Now we could go for a low emission power plant, because what this is going to do is it is going to reduce the amount of power capacity, but it's going to increase our heat efficiency. So if we decide to go and put in a fuel scoop, it's going to mean that we're going to be able to scoop at stars more efficiently. Not only that, it's going to be counteracting the extra heat that we're getting from the thrusters. So we can roll on this, and it's only going to cost us 1 iron to roll on each of them, so that's what we're going to go and do. And as you can see, on the very, very first roll, we get a reduction of 5% on the power capacity, but the heat efficiency is reduced by 25%. The mass has also gone down by 4%, but there is a possibility of having this actually go into the negatives, so that we can actually get a mass reduction. So that's what I'm going to go and do, is I'm actually going to go and roll a few more times just so we can get a mass reduction. And there we are. This is not bad. So we've got better heat efficiency by 17%. We've also gone and reduced our overall power output by 3%, but that's not a massive issue. And we've reduced our mass of the power plant by 2%. So again, it's not going to be adding a lot, but let's go and have a look over. So 22.11. After we apply this, that goes and changes to 22.12. So we've gained just a tiny bit of jump range. But that's kind of more of a byproduct. The main thing was we wanted to go and increase our ability to go and deal with heat. And that's what we've gone and done. Now we can go and boost up the frameshift drive as well. So if we go and have a look at this one, so all we need for this are some atypical disrupted wake echoes. Now these aren't that difficult to get, it's just you need to know how to go about it. What you need to do is put on your ship a frameshift wake scanner. Then you need to go around and scan a bunch of high wakes. What that'll do is every so often you'll get some scan data from them, and one of them will be this one. This is actually the most common. So it shouldn't take you very long to get these at all. So what we're going to go and do is we are going to go and roll on this, and what this does is increases our optimal mass. The optimized mass is how far we can jump. It also increases our mass, which is, it basically works against this, but if we get a nice roll where this is fairly high, and we get a modifier to this where we actually lose mass, then that's going to be even better. So I'm going to go roll a couple of times on this because I have got 34 chances to do so. So let's go and see what I can get. Now the first roll that we came up with isn't bad at all. We've got 8% better optimal mass. We've also gone and got a reduction to power draw, so it's not going to take as much power for the frameshift drive. The integrity's gone down and the mass has gone up, so I'm not really bothered about that one. The power draw I'm not too fussed about either anyway. So I'm just going to roll a couple of times and see if I can get what I want. Well, we have gone and gotten one where we've gone and gotten 7% increased optimized mass, which is not amazing. It's only 3% off the top though. But we have also gone and gotten a reduction in mass by only 1%. Now, I've rolled quite a few times on this. This is the first time that I've actually seen this now. So we're going to go and apply it. Now, again, we are at 22.12. So let's go and see what this actually takes us up to. So 22.12 to 23.45. So that's not bad. Now, I'm going to go roll a couple more times just to go and see if I can max out the optimized mass and just see if that actually does go and increase our jump range at all. Well, there we go. It's my one from last roll, and we've managed to max this one out, but we are reducing our overall mass, well, increasing our overall mass by 2%. Now, let's go and have a look again, because I forget what we were on. Right, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. I only just realised that. So let's apply that. And what has that taken us to? So 2443. So that is actually better. So it is actually better to max out the optimized mass over the actual mass increase. But if you can get both, then that is really great to have. So that's not bad at all, and that's pretty much everything we're going to go and modify on this. So going back into the outfitting department, we can go and see that our fully laden range is going to be 22.8 light years. So that's when we've got passengers on board. Next, our unladen jump range is 24.08. This was showing up a little higher before because I wasn't completely full with fuel. So I've refueled now, and this is what our maximum jump range currently is. As you can see as well, our top speed is 372 meters per second, and our boost speed is 541. So we've gained a little weight from putting a bit more fuel in the tank, so we've lost a little bit of top speed. So good to know. So let's just get outside and go and just quickly see just how quickly this is in a first person thing. Because it's all fine and good reading it in the outfitting department, but we really want to go and just see how fast this ship can actually go and get. Now, bringing my landing gear, just ascending, we're going over, wow, around about 300 meters per second, just going straight up. So that's just using my lateral thrusters. And moving forward, look at that. So the first one, that's going to be around about 400 meters per second. Now, bear in mind that we only have a 1D power distributor. So that's below the recommended one for our ship, but it still allows us to go and boost. So there we go, over 500 meters per second boosting. So that is really quick. And if we go and slow this ship down, because this ship does slow down fairly quickly now, to its optimal speed, we can go and see that our... Wow, just look at that. We're even able to go and flip this ship around. Whoa. Yeah, the maneuverability of this ship has gotten a lot better, so if you want to go and set this ship up as an early pirate ship or an early combat ship, yeah, these thrusters are really going to help you out. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for this somewhat in-depth look at the Adder. Let me know in the comments what you think about this dinky little ship. Personally, I think it makes a nice early explorer ship. It's a good trade ship, although the hauler does outclass it in jump range, if only ever so slightly. It's got some good firepower to it if need be, and especially if you fit it with some enhanced thrusters, it's going to be extremely maneuverable. So it can be a nice little combat ship as well. So if you want to put the effort into making this better than the Eagle, you can do. But then again, let's not forget you can actually go and put the same thrusters into the Eagle and make it even faster. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it, and I'll do my level best to get back to as many of them as I can. Anyway, guys, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, or check out any of the videos up on screen now. But I've been Commander Chaos Wolf, you guys have been epic, I will see you soon. And until next time, my fellow commanders, keep flying, and stay shiny.